What's up, everybody? Welcome back to our channel. I am Bree.
And I'm Evan.
And this is Reality Check TV.
Voila.
Here's where we discuss some of our favorite reality shows to watch together as a couple. So if you love reality TV like we do, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you can get notified anytime we post a new review.
Do y'all really want to be the ones that miss out? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and go ahead and like.
Yes. So welcome back, everybody. I hope that you had a great holiday weekend. I know it was a holiday for some of you guys. So I just hope that you were able to take some time to relax, release all your troubles, okay? But we are back to talk about all of the foolery, niggatry, tomfoolery of it all of Love and Marriage Huntsville.
You know, this episode was actually, it was bottom heavy. The beginning was pretty boring, but we got some information on a court case that you guys are pretty aware of. Kimmy and Kyle, their little issues, pretty back heavy.
Yeah.
So, as y'all know, we'll probably spend more time with that, but of course, you know, we're going to go over everything. So, you know, get your pillows out, get your sleeping bags out, because in the beginning, y'all may take a couple naps dealing with Tisha and Kiki. You know, I'm just warning y'all.
Well, no, because we're going to make it fun. You guys are here to see us, right? So you're not watching the actual episode. So we going to try to work with what we got, okay? That's what we're going to try to do. And you know, at the end, stick around because we have some thoughts of some things that has happened on these Instagram streets these last few days. And y'all know what I'm talking about. But we going to get into it. You ready?
Let me get my pillow and sleep bag out for the beginning, too.
I'm ready. You ready? Let's get into it. So, Evan already kind of gave y'all a little bit of a hint, but we not even going to go in order of events. We going to do it by least important to the most to talk about, okay? We've been doing that a lot lately with Love and Marriage Huntsville. I feel like we should just do it that way moving forward, really, because it just be a lot of, like, scene fillers. So let's just start with Kiki and Letitia. So we find out that Letitia she's creating or created a hair care line. I don't know what's wrong with me. Hair care line for her daughters. And so they're doing a photo shoot. And Kiki comes to the photo shoot. And she's letting Letitia know, like, you know, I feel a little bit of a way because I had to find out in these streets that you are getting the key to the city for Mobile, Alabama. So Kiki felt away. She felt like she was being left out. Tisha just talks about how busy she is and like her schedule is just completely packed. She has so much going on and she just totally forgot. But she says she is going to give her the invite. She gonna have her manager. She gonna talk to her manager. Bitch, like when she get a manager, but she gonna talk to her manager to get that schedule right.
Her manager is her oldest child.
And Kiki's gonna get an invite. Now, I will say, to get the kids out the way, I really do enjoy seeing the kids of anybody because we don't get to see them often, which there's no complaint there. I don't even believe that kids should be on reality TV. That's just my personal opinion.
Those are Letitia's kids. Those are Marcel's kids.
Anyways, I just believe that kids really shouldn't be on reality TV, but I digress. That's a different point. But her daughters are really beautiful. They're really cute, but they are splitting images of Letitia and Marcel. Because that youngest one looked just like her daddy.
Her boss.
Looked just like her daddy. That's what she looked like. So fast forward just a little bit. Kiki ended up not going to Mobile. She ended up not going to the little ceremony. So Letitia's getting her hair braided in another scene, and she has Kiki come to the salon and to talk about it. And Letitia says she's just pretty much over it. She's over being disappointed constantly by Kiki. She said that Kiki is flaky and unreliable, and it's hurting her. She's tired of getting her hopes up and Kiki not following through. Kiki says she didn't have access to a car, and somebody went out of town, and something happened where she couldn't make it to the little mobile ceremony situation. So, yeah, that happened.
They're giving keys out every week. I'm still trying to figure out what Letitia did to get this key.
The only thing that I really have to say about their situation is, one, Love and Marriage Huntsville, the crew, production, Carlos King. I'm very confused because this is yet another situation with the Scotts where we actually don't get to see what's going on. If I was Letitia, I actually would be really upset about this because I honestly think that the show is continuing to put you in a bad light. Like, we only see you come around and see you doing things when talking about other people, specifically male, but it's never like you being a mom and you being relatable and, like, you know, us seeing how you guys do your business deals and all of this other stuff, which makes us question it. Like, that's why it's so sketch. X the fact about, like, how you guys move and operate. Like, it's just not putting you in a good light. Like, why didn't the cameras go to the ceremony? Now, granted, Tisha's not my favorite person on this show. She's really not. So it has nothing to do with me wanting to see the scene, but I just feel like the show is also, like, setting her up.
Well, you know, too, and one thing we don't know is, like I said, I know they show clips of the ceremony.
Yeah.
But it could have been them ceremony people didn't want their full ceremony on the show. Like, they probably, you know, they could have elected to, we'll show you a little bit of Letitia, getting acknowledged and stuff, but we really don't really want to be part of the show like that.
I don't think that that is the case. I don't. Only because this was an actual event. I feel like it would have given the city publicity as well. Like, nobody's talking about Mobile, Alabama. So for them to have the Love and Marriage Huntsville cast and crew come or be a part in whatever way, hence why I'm pretty sure they even offered her the key to the city.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like it was a missed opportunity. And nobody's saying that she had to have full dialogue with people that was there, because I'm pretty sure out of the hundreds of people that were a part of the ceremony, there would have been a couple of people that would have been okay with, like, hey, I'll film with you. Mm-hmm. I feel like it was a missed opportunity for Letitia, because once again, you know, I just don't feel like you are having relatable and likable scenes. Like, majority of the time we see you, it's like, we want this to stop. And at this point, nobody's invested. Like, I don't even care anymore. Like, I don't want to see you and your husband do anything at this point. But this is just a prime example of another missed opportunity with the Scotts. But whatever, I digress. If it doesn't bother y'all, it don't bother me. But my other point with Kiki and Letitia, really quick, I mean, I feel like Letitia was alluding to the fact that there still can be an addiction issue with Kiki. I'm not going to speak on that too much because, one, I'm not invested. And then two, I just feel like, yet again, we don't have much information. Right. I know that Kiki said that she was prescribed on methadone, or she's on methadone to help with the addiction, which is another drug. I don't know. I don't think that is that of her being flaky. I just think that a lot of it is maybe her circumstances. And then also there may just be some of that jealousy of her little cousin. Mm-hmm. And she doesn't want to go to a lot of her events because she's hurt by it, because her cousin is getting the attention, because I can tell that Kiki is an attention seeker. So maybe that could be it. But Kiki is another one where if y'all are going to put her in the opening credits, like she has her own little white background, then why are y'all not showing her at home life? Like, I think Kiki has kids. I think she does. Mm-hmm. But, you know, it's stuff like that. Like, why are we not seeing her at home? You know? Same thing with Lou and Tiffany. Like, we've seen them at home in the past, but this season, I just feel like we're not getting enough of just them.
Well, you know, Tiffany probably just gave birth, and Lou has been doing a lot of traveling for baseball. That's one thing I remember them talking about is traveling season for him.
And that's fair, but then that means that then they should be demoted to friend of the show if they were not going to be available to film. I'm over the excuses. My thing is, if y'all want a full show, it shouldn't just be landing on one person in one storyline, which is Mel and Martell. Mm-hmm. It just shouldn't be that anymore. Like, we need more. Like, if y'all are going to have an ensemble cast, like, give everybody their moment. Everybody has to carry their own weight.
Yeah.
So I'm just, like, over that.
So the next scene we have Kimmy and Maurice continuing to talk about the history between Kimmy and Kiowa. In a nutshell, Maurice is pushing for Kimmy to meet with Kiowa for them to settle their differences. You guys know the history a little bit. This is going to come up later in our episode. We're going to talk about it more. But pretty much Kiowa has felt that while going through their divorce, she's always felt like Kimmy did not come after the fact of the divorce or even possibly during. But Kimmy could have been around the whole time. You know, Bree believes that Maurice actually is at fault for this because he was dibbing dabbing in both Kimmy and Kiowa.
Oh, well, Bree can speak by herself.
But
Bree is here.
So, you know, on this scene, Maurice is really pushing for them to meet. He's bringing out his phone, talking about, you know what, don't worry, I will set this up. I think y'all should go to dinner. You know, y'all settle y'all differences. You know, we're all adults here. And, you know, Kimmy, she's kind of at a loss because she's like, what issues do we suppose we have right now? Like, what are you talking about? You know, Kimmy feels like I don't need to meet up with her. But Kimmy didn't seem to shoot the option down. She just feels like, you know, if you feel this is necessary, cool, but I don't feel it's necessary. What's your take on how Maurice is being the host of the Kimmy and Kiowa meetup show?
Okay, so to answer that question, when the episode first started off and it was a continuing conversation from the last episode of Maurice telling or trying to manipulate Kimmy into thinking that your real problems with Kiowa and you're not over the past. And so that's what's stopping you from being a parent to Monster, right? Like, he's been on this for the past few episodes. And we know that it's all smoke and mirrors. That's not really what the issue is. But he is trying to get a lot of the heat and responsibility off of him. So Kimmy makes a comment of saying, like, you know, trying to talk to Maurice and was like, you know, we're raising a king and we all need to be on the same page. And first I laughed because I know how he feels about the word king.
The word king and queen has been thrown around too lightly. Like, we, you know, as Black folks, we love to call, you know, women queens, men kings, and it's like some of these people act like peasants. You know, you can't. I hate those words now because we've used it so much. Like, we call dudes that have 3 kids by 3 different women who don't see their kids kings. You know, we call, you know, I'm not going to start the women, but y'all know there's some women out here that do not need to be called queens. Living like roaches. But
we're going to talk about a roach at the end. We're going to talk about a roach at the end. But anyways, so yeah, that's where Kimmy's stance is. And she feels like Kiowa perpetuated a lie for years about Kimmy being the side chick. And she feels like that shows that Kiowa doesn't have any integrity. Here's my thing. So answering your question, listen, I'm so frustrated with Kimmy, right? My frustration with Kimmy right now in this episode is she allowed for this terrorist. Because now Maurice is the terrorist, okay? Do you understand? He is the drama. It is Maurice. Maurice is the one. He's been the freaking guilty party the whole time. The whole time we're thinking it's everybody else. It's Maurice. He needs to be locked up. He gotta go to jail. This nigga gotta go to jail, okay? But anyways, I just feel like you allowed this person to manipulate you and completely gaslight you. And now you're having this conversation with Kiowa that he plans like he's freaking Geppetto. Like he's kind of like, he's pulling the strings. And he's been doing that with you and Kiowa this entire time. Like this whole side chick debacle. At the end of the day, Kiowa is his ex-wife and mother of his child. She's going to feel however she's going to feel, especially at the beginning, like when they first started dating, right? There can be some animosity, whatever the case is, right? And it sounds like their divorce between Maurice and Kiowa did end like on the highest note. That it doesn't seem like that, right? So she's gonna feel however she wants to feel. My thing is, it's solely Maurice's responsibility to make sure his family is all on the same page. That is his responsibility. As a man, if you decide to get into a relationship with another woman and you have a child and you have an ex-wife that you are co-parenting with now, it is your responsibility because you are the thread that connects everybody together. So it's your responsibility that you guys are on one accord. So it is Maurice's fault. Kaya was going to feel however she wants to feel. It should have been Maurice at the very beginning. As soon as the rumors started, when this show first came on our TV screens, it was supposed to be Maurice to completely debunk all of those rumors about Kimmy being the side chick. It should have been him. He should have, as soon as it came up, he should be like, no, like, don't play like that. That's not even the case. And he should have dead it then. And then we wouldn't even still be talking about it seasons later. Like, it was your responsibility. But Maurice tried to play the same game that Marceau plays when it comes to Marceau cheating, and he won't ever answer the question directly. Maurice tried to play that same game.
Well, Marcel's the king of that, so.
Yeah, but Maurice tried to play that same game at the very beginning when it came to Kimmy being the side chick. And so then that goes into my theory that Evan alluded to just a minute ago. I feel like there was definitely some overlap that Kimmy is not aware of. I think that Maurice did a lot of cheating, even when Kimmy and Maurice were dating. I feel like he cheated a lot. Like, what? He has a sex addiction. And I still stand on that. Allegedly. He has a sex addiction.
Cows, goats, hamsters.
Men, women, allegedly, right? So I just feel like there were some overlap. And I think one of the women that he was dipping and dabbing with was Kiowa. More so at the very beginning, because if I'm not mistaken, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but Kimmy and Maurice were dating for like years before they actually got married. They got married on the first season of Love and Marriage Huntsville. And they have been dating for what, like 5, 6? It's between 5 and 8. It's like it was a while that they had been dating. They have been together, and you cannot convince me that he was not cheating multiple times. I just feel like with multiple people, I think he was just out here in these streets, and I think at the beginning of their relationship, one of the people that he was dipping with was Kiowa. And I think Kiowa knows the whole time.
But Kimmy doesn't.
But Kimmy wasn't aware of that.
Nope.
And once again, it just all falls in the lap of Maurice. And, you know, he is a terrorist. And he's not going to ever take accountability or responsibility. Because accountability and responsibility are different. But he's not doing either. And this is his doing. The only thing I did agree with Kimmy in this episode. She says at the end of the conversation that she had with Maurice, she was like, I just want you to know I'm in this situation because of you, which is facts. Like, we're all here because of you, Maurice. And, like, the manipulation, I just cannot. Like, him saying how, like, oh, like, you're basically, Kimmy's just mad because he didn't handle Kiowa the way she wanted him to handle her. Like, basically saying that she wanted him to be nasty to Kiowa. And it was like, no, you don't have to be combative to set boundaries. You don't have to do that. But he knows what he's doing. I'm not even going to entertain and fall for his, you know, wordplay and his manipulation in this moment. Like, we're not doing that. Like, I see what you're doing, Maurice. I've been pulled your card. I've been saying the Scott brother to really watch out for is Maurice Scott. Because I can't. Like, ugh.
And, you know, to carry on, since we're doing couple by couple, we're not doing scene by scene. To end the episode, there was Kimmy and Kiowa. They did meet up for dinner, in which the main topic was they were trying to get clarity. I guess I would say they were trying to go through a little timeline somewhat. Not really, but it was one of those things where I think Kimmy wanted clarity on Kyra had some words.
Did you call her Kyra?
Kiowa. Kiowa had some words in the past. Really, you know, shit talking Kimmy. And, you know, yes, Kiowa, I understand you are due to feel how you feel because you feel like Kimmy has come in between your marriage, because it was said there was a time where, I guess, with the divorce, you wanted, what's that period called? We try to fix stuff. We try to settle.
Reconciliation.
Reconciliation.
But you're talking about the scene between Kimmy and Mel. Because that's when we found out.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so Kimmy and Mel go to a spa, which was, they were doing like the in-shape treatments, which looks very interesting, by the way. I need to make an appointment. But anyways, they were talking, Kimmy was venting to Mel about it and saying that she has to meet with Kiowa, like Maurice set up this meeting with her. And Mel flat out asked, she's like, well, I never really asked you. I feel like it's been talked about, but were you the side chick? Like, and Kimmy explains it. And that's when she said, you know, there was that period where they were supposed to be going through, or Kaya wanted them to go through reconciliation. And yeah. And there was just some gray areas, I feel like, again, between Maurice and Kiowa. I don't believe in one moment that Kimmy was willingly a participant in being the side chick. I don't think that that's the case. And so I don't want anybody to misunderstand where I'm coming from either. I don't think that Kimmy knows that role. I think she has no idea. That's why it's between Maurice and Kiowa.
Yep. So the next thing we have is Kimmy having dinner with Kiowa to try to gain some clarity on situations. I feel one of the interesting things, though, that Kimmy said was, you know, Kiowa said some things in the past about Kimmy, but I find what's interesting is with Maurice, Kimmy stuck up for Kiowa so much. And I don't know if it was maybe to protect her, or is that just Kimmy's nature to stick up? But she stuck up for Kiowa in the past when it came to Monster. Because as y'all know, Maurice feels like he knows how to raise children by himself. When it comes to what I find interesting, though, is this, like, Kiowa, she has said stuff in the past, but due to her position, you know, I guess, can you really be mad about her getting this emotion out where she had a marriage, she had a child with this man, and the thing is, okay, y'all go through divorce, and out of nowhere, another woman's here that you have questions about when this person appeared, if they impacted our marriage, and are they impacting us trying to possibly get it back together because we have a son. You know, it's like, can you really be mad?
Can who really be mad?
I mean, just in general, like, yeah, you know, Kyra had some words about Kimmy.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, of course, Kimmy feels like it's unfair, but it's like, as you know, Maurice shaped this situation.
Yeah.
You can't. I mean, yes. I'm just not that mad at Kyle for expressing herself and expressing her
I see
anger.
what you're
I'm
saying.
not mad for it.
Yeah, I mean,
because you don't know when this woman came, and like you said, and I firmly believe it too. Maurice was playing two sides of the fence, having his Kimmy and dib and dab on Kyle because he's selfish.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, then that goes the Kimmy side of things because Kimmy believes that, you know, no, I was never the side chick. I was not the reason for the downfall of your marriage. Mm-hmm. But we don't know. Like I said, Maurice is really just playing everybody. Like
right.
In the past, he really orchestrated this stuff. Right. So it's like putting two women against each other.
Right.
And they have like false narratives.
Right.
And
so you peaked that too. Like, that's another thing. Like, I feel like over the many seasons when it comes to their storyline, I just feel like Maurice has done more harm than good in bringing the two women together.
It's like he talks about bringing them together, but his actions are to bring them apart.
Right.
Like, he wants two women fighting for his mouse-looking ass.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
He's like, I'm King Maurice. Y'all fight for my love.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I agree with you.
Like, it's one of those things where when I'm watching them have dinner, I'm really just like, damn, this dude really put this much harm to y'all, really has y'all against each other.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. No, you're right, babe. I definitely see that perspective. Hence why I just feel like, again, the responsibility should lie solely in Maurice's lap. And, you know, what's crazy is because it doesn't seem like there's the tension between Maurice and Zay, which is Kiowa's husband.
Right, nope.
Right? So, I agree with you. I agree with you.
That's just crazy. You know, Kimmy, made comments to at dinner about she wished Kiowa would have debunked the facts that of her being the
side chick.
The side chick comments.
Yeah.
Because Kimmy's like, hey, if we're trying to be on one accord, trying to be this mixed family, blah, 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 why are you not debunking this? And if you're not debunking it, you're supporting it.
Right.
And Kimmy, I mean, I understand, but you don't understand what was said to Kiowa or what Kiowa experienced to the point where she may feel like, I'm not debunking that because I feel that happened. And
then also, like, it's not my responsibility.
Right.
You're not my wife.
Right.
Right? Like, it's not your responsibility. It's not my responsibility to challenge every rumor or everything that's being said about you online. Now, I don't know, because again, when it comes to them, I don't know too much about what was happening off of the show and like on social media. So I don't know if Kiowa has done interviews alluding to this. I don't know. I'm gonna say no, only because Kiowa said in this scene that she don't like doing interviews. She don't like doing that.
And I'll be honest with you, like just watching their mannerisms and stuff, it's like I firmly believe Kiowa still just like, Kim, you can say all this, but I believe what I believe. For what I experienced, I feel this way. You're not gonna change it. Like I just kind of got that from her face. Like she is
I feel like as far as them having a conversation, I think that it is necessary because now at this point we're years removed and there's a child involved, or a teenage boy that's involved, and he is going through a different a weird time in his life right now. So I think that it is extremely important that all parents involved be on the same page and be able to co-parent. So I just feel like it's a moot point at this point. It feels like if we can just get to a mutual respect of one another and have this conversation and just like, move on. Like, I see you, you see me, we see each other. Let's move on. let's just move on. I felt like that's what they was doing. But again, I just think that Maurice manipulated Kimmy into thinking that there's still an issue, that Kimmy still has an issue.
Yeah, because he wants them to fight over him.
Right. So, whatever, Maurice.
Fight over the mouse.
Okay, so now we're going to end with the main event. Okay? The main event.
So, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait, hold on. How about, are you going to do Martell's parts and I'll do Mel's?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it that way.
Okay.
Because the scenes were going back and forth. So we going to go back and forth.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead and say what you was going to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, so I think this is the first time this season where we got introduced to actually was a custody battle?
Yeah.
Court case. This is the first time we really got kind of some information on it.
Y'all, because I had the information.
Outside the show.
Yeah.
But it was just so funny to me because they're doing a sequence in the show where Mel's with the Fletchers.
Yes.
And Martell is with his mom.
Yes.
Ooh, that was a hard conversation to listen to. Martell's with his mom, and they're both telling their sides of, their experience in court.
So let's do it.
So you start with Mel.
Yeah.
You start.
Okay. So Mel, like he just said, Mel went to go see the Fletchers, right? So soon as she walks into the house, she was like, it was good seeing y'all in court. Like, how did y'all feel about being subpoenaed? Because we find out in this moment that Martell had the Fletchers subpoenaed to their court date. And Miss Nell was like, that really pissed me off. I don't want to be involved in y'all's situation. Mel even says that they are both friends with the Fletchers. We've known this since season 1. Mm-hmm. They both have a personal relationship with the Fletchers. And so any decent human being would recognize that boundary and just kind of leave them out of it, right? Family's one thing, because at the end of the day, family's going to naturally be involved. And I can see them speaking up in court because they even said that Mel's brother was also somebody that took the stand.
Yep.
We can see that. But as far as like friends of both of ours, like I wouldn't do that. But we're dealing with Martell Hope.
So while Mel is talking to Fletchers, Martell went to go visit his mom, in which they're having a very interesting conversation about court. And, Martell lets it be known first. I thought this was like one of the funniest things he said. He was just like, it's just so unfortunate that friends and family had to get involved. Like, you ain't the one that got him subpoenaed. You're the one that called him to come. That's one thing Martell does a lot that I've noticed. He will literally always be like, it's just so sad, or it's just this, and that. Well, he infiltrated it. It's just so sad our family just couldn't make it through the hard times. How many times you step out? Like, that's one funny thing about Martell. Just how Mel has that shirt that says God said go, Martell needs to have a shirt that says, it's just so sad. Like, dude. But anyway, so he's having a conversation with his mom, and Martell is actually upset with his mom because she felt like she didn't have his back in court. He felt like she was a little too quiet. She was not sticking up for him, and she was not, as he says, putting on for him. And his mom was like, well, what you want me to do? Like, I never done this before. Like, what you want me to do? And Martell just was not feeling it. He was just like it damaged his case. Like, he was so hot. So hot. It was just so funny.
Oh my gosh. You forgot to say when Miss Marlene gonna start, she talking about, like, why are we even here? Like, these people don't know your kids. They don't know what's best for the kids. And I'm just like, bro, this...
We here because of him.
I was like, yo, this... Woo! I really advise people to travel outside of their hometown. I'm gonna just stay on that, okay? Just let that marinate. I think it's extremely important for you to travel outside of your hometown. I do. Just wanted to say that. So getting back to Mel and the Fletchers, Mel's like, her attorney, one of her biggest questions, or the attorney's biggest question was, does the kids have a stable home when being with Martell? Because he's moved so many times. So we find out that the house that Martell is living in right now is actually Chris's house.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on the market. It's about to be on the market because it's under contract.
Mm-hmm.
So Mel's like, so he's about to have to move again?
Yeah.
And she was like, well, maybe it's like a money shortage. Maybe that's why he gonna ask me to pay for his attorney fees.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna cheat on you, have a baby on you, bring you to court, but I need you to pay for these fees though.
I'm trying to take your fucking kids.
And I'm trying to take your kids, but I want you to pay for them.
I need you to pay for my attorney fees. That's not terrorism. That's not terrorism, y'all. Come on, let's talk about it. That's not it. This isn't an example.
I guess he didn't make much wine profits.
He's bringing me to court to take my kids. I have to fight for my kids. And you gonna ask me to pay for your attorney fees so you can take them away?
Mm-hmm. And I think it's funny too because Martell also included that he was mad at Chris Fletcher because he felt like Chris did not back him up. When it's like, dude, they're friends with both y'all. Like, what did you expect? Like,
and then Chris is flat out said when talking to Miss Nell and Mel, he was like, I told the truth. Like, and the reality is, we all know what happened. This is Chris. We all know what happened. We all know how we got here. Like,
and
bro.
Chris did add too. He did add too. He had a side conversation with Martell saying to stop it.
Right.
But
he was
Martell
like, he keeps it going. He keeps it going.
And and then Martell made a comment like, I just don't understand, like, why does Mel want to go to trial? Because you got us here. Because you brought us here.
It was so funny.
I just don't understand why she want to go to trial, but I'm taking her because I want the kids just to piss her off. But she want to go to trial on me? That's a whole nother level. It's just so crazy.
So we find out that how they got to a custody hearing is because Mel and her attorney was trying to file for a protection order. Because why? Because Martell's also a stalker. He was showing up at her house unannounced. He was calling her, having phone conversations recorded. He also would show up on dates or outings that Mel would go on and start recording her.
You think Martell's an FBI agent? I swear, he was trying to record Mel like that, like the FBI was recording Martin Luther King. Wiretapping all the phones. Hey, Claretta, we got some news for you. Crazy.
So,
Coretta or Claretta?
Just let it go. It's Coretta.
Oh, damn.
Oh, my God. Anyways, you're stupid.
What?
I'm sorry.
I was just trying to fix that.
So that's how they ended up with this custody crap, because then they try to rush. Martell and his attorney try to rush and then throw this out there. Now he's trying to get full custody of the kids.
And he made a funny comment too to his mom, and this was the kicker right here.
That was what
he was like, Martell was like, she don't even want the kids. Give me the kids.
Because he made the comment about, I guess, Mel, he claims that Mel said, you do 6 months and I'll do 6 months, right?
Give me the kids.
Martell wouldn't even last for 6 months.
No.
And so that's how Baby Mel was saying it in just...
kids will be with his mom every day.
Right, right. And Baby Mel was saying it in just I don't even know, but then also you can't believe anything that Martell said. You can't believe anything Martell said. So it's whatever, bro. But we find out, Miss Nell asked, well then how did it end? What was the result?
And by the way, folks, I'm not done Miss Nell ass. She's still shady.
Oh my God.
I don't care. That's shady shit. Continue.
And Mel says that they pretty much, nothing has changed. They are both doing their week on, week off. But Mel did say that she wasn't going to try to appeal the court's decision because she felt like there was some bias going on between the judge and her ruling. Because I guess in her court notes that it was said that the judge made a comment about how the court determined that the father is responsible or is able to take care of his children, but the court can't say the same about the mother. And I would tell you right now, it's giving the judge wanted to sleep with Martell. That's what it's giving. It was a woman Clearly. Because what? Another question that I have, honestly, in these reality show contracts, can you not use the show for court evidence?
They probably didn't allow, just like sometimes I know times they don't allow certain evidence, like, let's just say when Kim hip hop, like they used to not allow lyrics and stuff like that.
Well, they're trying to do that, but that's still like a debatable thing within the Supreme Court as far as rap music and lyrics and this.
Obviously they're not using the show, because if they were, this would be over by now.
That's what I'm talking. That's my point, right?
So obviously they're not allowing it.
This isn't the first couple or first people to be on a reality show and go through court, right?
Yeah. So obviously they're not. They're not going.
Because I remember, I know you are not even gonna know what I'm talking about, but Jen Shaw over there on Salt Lake, Real Housewives of Salt Lake, when it came to her hearing, I believe a lot of the evidence and things that they used in court was some of the scenes that she had on the show of her flaunting her lifestyle. So I just asked, like, does it go by show where basically it's somewhere in their contract, if need be, we can use this as evidence?
It could have been one of those things where Martell's attorney or a lawyer could have asked the judge not to do in the show.
I don't know,
and the judge could have granted it. The judge could have granted it.
Yeah, especially if there's some bias going on. I don't know, because long story short, I'm asking this because I can't believe in nobody's right mind that they would see scenes from this show and then say some shit like, we can't say the same thing about the mother as far as being responsible
that's
for the
like
kids.
Almost like the same where they tell the jury, like, when there's jury and stuff, like you can't watch certain things or view certain things because of the bias on the decision.
I mean, I guess. I don't know, but the moral of the story is clearly they weren't using any evidence from the show. Clearly they couldn't have been using evidence from social media. Forget the show. What about social media? Yeah. Clearly you couldn't have been. Because if you was, no judge would say that.
Right.
But you know what? Let me also say this, because I know something that has been said my entire life. I've heard people, specifically in the Black community, because I'm Black, so that's what I speak on. We have a tendency in our families to just talk about, oh, he's such a good dad. He's such an amazing dad. Look at him. He doesn't have to be with you to be an amazing dad. He's a good father. He was a horrible husband or a horrible boyfriend, but he was an amazing father. Let me say this, and it's about to make some people mad. So don't fight me. But just because the father's physically there, it doesn't mean that he's a good father. That's it. That's all. Go ahead. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave that for y'all to marinate on. Just because the man is physically there doesn't mean that he's a good father. Okay. Go ahead.
My last thoughts. I want to see if Mel's going to do this appeal. This did not go the way Martell wanted it to go. So y'all know Martell's about to do something Martellish. So I'm here with the popcorn and the Coke to see what he about to do next.
Well, speaking of, I think that was our cue. So let's talk about present day. So if y'all saw this week, and I know you did. If you're watching this, I know you did. I know you be following these people and you know about the things that was happening on the blogs. Monday morning, Monday afternoon, I don't even know what time, but I know it was Monday. Monday, Mel woke up and said, I got time today. She's like, I'm choosing violence today. I got time today. So all of this that happened this week, and I'm going to do all of this because I might put some screenshots of what had happened. All of this. I'm not going to go into deep, or we're not going to go into deep, I guess, chronological order of everything that transpired, because at this point, it is Thursday and everybody has done a video. They've done commentary on the situation with Mel, Martell, and that peasant. Everybody has had their opinion. So we're not going to add anything new. We don't have any new information. We're just reacting to the same thing that y'all are reacting to. Long story short, y'all know that Martell has a baby mother that is also obsessed with Mel, and has been for many years now. Many years. And I will say, Mel has kept it cute for years. She has kept it very cute. And she has handled this situation, just this situation. So all of y'all that do not like Mel, we're just talking about the situation between her ex-husband, his mistress / baby mama, and her. When it comes to this situation, Mel has really kept it very cute. And yet, she has been taunted by her ex-husband and his mistress for years. I alluded a few videos ago, I believe I mentioned it, about how there was this rumor going around about an alleged sex tape between Martell and Mel that Martell had, that he had custody of. And he was using that to threaten Mel, saying that he was going to release it. Allegedly, it was also said that it started off with Martell trying to give the said tape to his baby mother so she can put it out there and I guess spin it to make it seem like Mel was having sex with somebody else, that Martell wasn't the one in the video. Well, that kind of went out the window because old girl gave it to a friend and was like, you should go ahead and release it because I can't release it. The friend was like, no, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, Martell and the baby mama got access to a sex tape and Mel knows about it. And Mel has been doing what she needs to do legally to make sure that it does not get out. And if it does, people go into jail. People go into jail, okay? So that's been happening for months now. Well, Martell, being the idiot that he is, he went on and did an interview maybe a month or two ago with somebody that is online, and he even admitted to having said sex tape. The baby mama did an interview recently, I feel like this was over the weekend or last week, admitting the same thing, that there's this sex tape. And I guess in this interview, she continued to talk about Mel as she always does. Here's my thing. I can't speak to what was said in that interview because anytime that I have seen that chick's name pop up, I avoid it like the plague. I'm not going to ever say her name on our channel because hoes don't get no love over here. That's not how we not on that. Her name will never be mentioned. She will forever be, whether it's coleslaw, like the internet like to call her, whether it is the mistress, the hoe, the home wrecker, whatever y'all want to call her, y'all can use all of those words. But what we not going to do is ever say her name. Not doing it. Because that's what she wants. She has been a non-effing factor since season 1. This girl has tried every way to get on this show and to be mentioned on this show. She wanted to be a part of this show so bad that she has kept everybody's name that is on this show in her mouth for the past 5-6 years. That's all she does. So, Mel on Monday got on Instagram Live and went completely off. Okay? She let y'all know, she was like, listen, don't let the professionalism and these respectability politics and me being a boss bitch confuse you because I will whoop your ass. I will whoop your ass. That's what she said. I'm not I'm not exaggerating. That's what she said. She said, I will whoop your ass. I can pull up on you. You can pull up here. Listen, I done told my security who you are. I gave them a picture. And I told them, if they see you, let you pull up. Because I'm ready. That's what she had said. Mel had to let y'all know that she about that life. That's what she had to do. I resonated because I will give you chance after chance after chance. I'm going to always give people grace, even the people that don't deserve it. And me giving you grace is me not putting hands on you. I let you live. And I've let you live for years. But when I'm over it, I'm over it. And Mel was over it. So any comment about how Mel should have, ignored it and that's what she wants and this, like all of that, nah, that ain't got nothing to do with it. She has taken a lot of shit from Martell and his concubines for years. And she's raising children and she's too busy out here working and trying to provide for her children. Meanwhile, he's also trying to sue her for custody of said children. She has taken the disrespect from this man and his mistress for years. Boundaries have been crossed and she has not said anything. And the moment she does, people then want to attack her. That's not what we on. It's definitely a situation where it's cool when they do it, but it's a problem when I do it. And no. Also, the people that's out here talking about she's bitter, she's fighting for a man. We're not watching the same show. We're not experiencing the same people. Because that's not what's happening at all. Because if that is what your little mind was able to pick up on, she's bitter and they're fighting over a man, you are sadly mistaken. Mel divorced Martell. What are we talking about? Mel isn't the one that's stalking Martell. Mel isn't the one that's trying to get his phone records, trying to get the passwords to his social media accounts. That's not Mel. It's coming from one direction. Y'all, imagine, for 1 second, let's play this game. Imagine that you are having an affair with a married man. You know about it. You know that he's married. You have an affair with him for more than 5 years. You go through the ups and downs of having a miscarriage, getting rid of the pregnancy. You go through all of these ups and downs, right? But he still remains married to his wife, where he has 4 kids, right? Then the wife decides, you know what? I've had enough. You can have him. So she gives him to you. So y'all can go on and be on your merry way. But imagine continuing to stick around, even though this said man gets on TV, right? Calls you a peasant, you still remain. Then, once the wife gets him to you, so you can be on your merry way, he then decides to go out and start a whole new relationship, whether fake or not, with a whole nother person on national television and promotes that relationship on 2 different networks, on 2 different shows. Still doesn't claim you. Then there's another rumor that he also is dating other women. Still doesn't claim you. And then imagine this same man sending you a sex tape of him and his ex-wife so you can break the law and release the tape and go to jail for revenge porn. Imagine. And then you get online and talk about the ex-wife that's never done anything to you but be married to the man that you were sleeping with, and you just continue to bash her. And talk about how she went through bankruptcy and how she's bad body. And bitch, let me tell you one thing. There's one thing for sure, 2 things for certain. And that's it. Ain't nothing bad body about Melody Hope or Melody Cherie Rogers. Ain't nothing bad body. I don't know where that bitch got that from. Ain't nothing bad body about her. But okay, girl. But imagine that. Imagine that.
This reunion should be very special.
even if he was to marry you today, it's still giving last resort. You're still giving last resort. It's kind of like porter potty. Like, you know, like that's not your first option, but you really gotta pee. So you won't go to the bathroom wherever you go to the bathroom at that point. That's what it gives. I just recommend that you do some self-work. You figure that out. Because at the end of the day, there are kids involved because you had his child. And I feel so bad for the baby that is involved in this situation that the adults created. And I said the same thing when Martell and Mel got a divorce. At the end of the day, the kids are the ones that are going to suffer because of Martell's actions.
And when they get older, they're definitely going to resent him.
Right. And that little boy is the result of an affair.
Yep.
And that's just what it is. That's not me making up it. That's what it is. That's the situation. He was a result of an affair. And if y'all think, the adults in this situation, if y'all truly think that there is not going to be any type of consequence to that, long-term consequences for that little boy, you are sadly mistaken. And it's immature and it's selfish. And all you thought about was filling that hole in between your legs. When your focus really should have been fixing that hole in your heart and getting some intelligence about you, getting some integrity about yourself. This is too much. What you're doing now is sad. It's real sad. It's real sad. And it's upsetting me and my homegirls and my man. We're upset about it. We are upset. Like, ugh. Like, this is sad.
Well, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed the episode. We thank y'all for tuning in with us again for another episode of Reality Check TV. Y'all let us know in the comments what y'all thought of this episode. It was very back heavy, very entertaining, and I was very happy, like I said, to get more context on this court case. And I'm like I told you, I'm very curious to see how King Martell, what's his next chess move? What next terrorism plot does he have in store? As well as with Kimmy, I'm tired of seeing Maurice on this TV now. So, let's do a couple episodes without Maurice. Yeah. We can do Kimmy, but let's do a couple without Maurice. Any going away thoughts for the viewers?
We have to say something about Detroit. Go ahead and tell them your feelings about Detroit. Go ahead, Evan.
What about?
Go ahead.
Detroit's a little. Here's my thing. It's for me. It was a little interesting, but at the end of the day, it's still Carlos King copy paste. Like, it's just about to be the same crowd. It's kind of giving the same storyline. You got guys that are, pretty much downplaying their wives, pretty much trying to, y'all know the deal. These dudes don't respect the wives, don't see the wives as partners. Typical Carlos King. What you think?
Don't ask. Listen, they know what I think.
Okay, but we watch it. We're still tuning in. Don't know if we'll review it. But to let y'all know, Ready to Love comes back tomorrow, Friday. So we're going to watch that.
Not excited about it, though.
We're going to watch it and, decide between ourselves if we're going to review it. I hope we review it because, Ready to Love has its interesting moments.
But y'all are supposed to be letting us know if there are any other shows that you guys would like to have our commentary on. Yep. Let us know, what shows do you guys watch that you're interested to see how we feel about it, or if we already watch it.
Yep.
So let us know. We'll only review if it's requested.
But y'all, as y'all know, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Y'all share these comments. We'll respond. Have some conversations between yourselves. Like and subscribe. But y'all know it's sunny out here. It's hot. It's summertime. Drink y'all water. Be on the sidewalk. Don't be in the streets.
Bye.